Question and Answer by L.G. Alexander. Lesson 18.
Our new secretary. The telephone rang, and our new secretary, Miss Simpson, answered it. "May I speak to Mr. Calder, please?" a voice said. "Who is speaking, please?" Miss Simpson asked. "Mr. Alan Bright," the voice said. Miss Simpson put her hand over the mouthpiece and spoke to Mr. Calder. "It's Mr. Alan Bright, sir," she said. "He wants to speak to you." "What? Again?" Mr. Calder exclaimed. "He wants to sell us those new typewriters, doesn't he?" "Yes, sir," Miss Simpson said. "He called yesterday, and he rang up 5 times last week." "We don't need new typewriters. I told him that yesterday," Mr. Calder said. "What shall I say, sir?" Miss Simpson asked. "Say that I'm not in my office," Mr. Calder said crossly. Miss Simpson spoke into the receiver. "Mr. Bright," she said, "I'm afraid you can't speak to Mr. Calder now. Mr. Calder says that he's not in his office." Answer these questions. 1. Did the doorbell ring? 2. Didn't the telephone ring? 3. Miss Simpson is Mr. Calder's new secretary, isn't she? 4. Who answered the telephone? 5. Does Mr. Bright want to speak to Miss Simpson? 6. Mr. Bright wants to sell Mr. Calder some new typewriters, doesn't he? 7. Didn't Mr. Bright call yesterday? 8. How many times did Mr. Bright telephone last week? 9. Why doesn't Mr. Calder want any new typewriters? 10. Mr. Calder doesn't need any new typewriters, does he? 11. Was Mr. Calder cross? 12. Is Mr. Calder in his office, or has he gone out? 13. Can Mr. Bright speak to Mr. Calder? 14. Who will tell Mr. Bright that Mr. Calder is not in his office? 15. What will Miss Simpson tell Mr. Bright?